Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Beer Garden, where I'm your host, Chris Loader, and I'm joined, as usual, by Hong Kong racing journalist Charene Woo and racing pundit Steve Shanks. Now, before we get into the tips for this week's card at Happy Valley, let's see how everyone is. Charene, how's it going? Did you enjoy the Epsom Derby?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Because last weekend we Hong Kong punters were quite busy because we will see the races from UK, from France, and Japan as well. So we really enjoyed last weekend, and hopefully this week we will continue to provide more winners to the punters.
Yeah, certainly a busy time for racing on the flat in Europe at the moment. Got Royal Ascot, of course, next week, but of course as well we've got to get back into the Hong Kong form. Steve, are we ready to tackle these races?
Yes, we are. And as you said earlier, there's so much to see worldwide at the minute, isn't there? It's almost hard to devote everything. But sometimes you look at Hong Kong for hours on end, and you end up with nothing. And sometimes sometimes I think the less you look, sometimes you actually have better results because you see it more clearly. Well, that's what I'm saying anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Sometimes taking a little bit of a break from it and then coming back in fresh, you're right, you just see things a little bit more clearly. And if you're like myself that spends too much time probably looking at race cards and form and data, it can do your head in. But yeah, always take a little bit of a break if you can. But yeah, hopefully we can find some winners for you on this week's Happy Valley preview. And as normal, we're doing the triple trio races, and then we'll round off at the end of the show by going through the naps and anything else that took our fancy. So let's get into it then. It's the 1:45 UK time. Race 5 is the first race we'll be previewing from the triple trio races. It's a 5 furlong handicap over 5 furlongs, I should say. It's the Deep Bay handicap Class 3 contest. We'll come to Steve here first. What did you like in this one, Steve?
Well, I'm being an optimist, and I'm going for Heart Conquered, hoping he finally has his day in Hong Kong. He's nothing from 13 locally, but a 4-time winner in his native Australia, and he's run some very good races over this course and distance. A short head and a nose behind Explosive Witness last season, and he's not been beaten too far on his last 2 outings. Harmony Fire looks a solid option, but he's up another £8, and the excellent Jerry Chow only claims £5 this time instead of the 7, so he's effectively £10 higher. It's a typically open Happy Valley sprint, and who gets the breaks wins. And of course, my selection is very closely matched with Larson as well. But I'm hoping Heart Conquered gets a reward for several good efforts recently.
Yeah, quite a few familiar names here for Hong Kong punters, and yeah, Heart Conquered, he's still a maiden, but we've seen these horses once they get the winning habit, they can sometimes go in a sequence. So who knows? Maybe he can get the job done tomorrow. How about you, Charene? What did you like in this one?
Yes, actually, I'm very happy to see that Steve is also keen on number 6, Heart Conquered, because I like this horse as well. This horse now reached his lowest rating of 67, and I believe he will be able to bounce back on Wednesday night, because last time out over this course and distance, his performance were really eye-catching, especially how fast he jumped. In spite of the fast gates, Tony Picon did not push further to lead. So Dancing Fighter and Harmony and Blessed were the leader of that race. And then Heart Conquered stayed box-seated. The pace was fast, and the winner, Dancing Fighter, led till the end and with a new track record. So I believe last time out the form is quite solid. So and then in race 5 tomorrow, there is no consistent leader here. So Heart Conquered jumping from gate 7 is possible to lead if he jumps well, and I think it is a good chance for him to score his first winner in Hong Kong. So I'm same with Steve. I like number 6, Heart Conquered as well.
Well, I'm not sure if that's completely good luck when all our pundits agree. Normally my experience is bad luck, but who knows, maybe we've got it right here. So Charene and Steve both like horse number 6, Heart Conquered, for Tony Picone and Richard Gibson. We then move on to race 6, which is 2:15 UK time. It's a 1.5 mile handicap. It's the Silver Mine Bay handicap, a class 4. We'll come to Charene here this time. Who did you think would win this race, Charene?
Yes, here I'm still keen on number 3, Savvy Kingman. It seems that this horse have been appeared in our show for several times because I quite like this Kingman gelding. Last time out, he broke maiden in Hong Kong under Joe Morera over 1650 at Happy Valley. Here is also his most suitable track and distance. And then after winning by length, beating more than enough, these two horses will face each other again on Wednesday night. But Savvy Kingman will jump from gate 1, which is very ideal for this possible leader. But more than enough jumping from gate 3 is good too. But I think that he will be difficult to turn the table because Savvy Kingman will still be carrying 5 pounds less. So and then the pace here would be slow as I expected. So it will be a very big advantage for Savvy Kingman to have a back-to-back win.
Yeah, I remember talking about Savvy Kingman on one of our previous shows. You know, obviously he's got that lovely pedigree being by Kingman, one of the size of the moment here at Eastern Europe, and it's exciting to see some of his progeny moving down to Hong Kong. And I think he could be a side to follow over the next few years. He's always been renowned himself, he was, and with his progeny the last couple of years, they show a great turn of foot. And with those races, sometimes where they go slow and it's all about the finishing speed, he might be able to have quite a few winners down there as a stallion. So definitely an interesting one tomorrow. How about you, Steve? Did you like Savvy Kingman, or did you want to take him on?
I took him on. I do very much like him. He's a very likeable horse. I decided to go for Red Majesty. He steps into Class 4 company for the first time, but he remains interesting under Caris Teton. He's on board for the first time. He's up another £6 for a 1 1/4 length defeat of Wonderful Tiger, but a mark of 52 still looks workable. Savvy Kingman under Morera, he has, as Charene says, has the real draw to attack. But he's conceding £13 to Red Majesty, who's looking for the 3-timer. It's a race where, apart from Savvy Kingman, there's a few here that they're sort of steady horses like More Than Enough and Nitro Express, who won last time out. But he's a 9-year-old now. And of course, there's also Good Buddy, and Zach Purton switches to him. But he couldn't have made the weight for Red Majesty off 8 stone 3. So I'm just hoping that Red Majesty off stall 8 maybe track the pace from Savvy Kingman and land the 3-timer off what I still hope is a favourable mark.
Yeah, we've got a few last time out winners here, so it'd be interesting to see if any of them can continue their winning form. But yeah, difference of opinion there. You've got Red Majesty, still only 4 years old, could still be improving, could still have a bit more to come for Steve. That's horse number 10, Red Majesty. And then Charene thinks that Savvy Kingman might have a bit more progression in him as well. So that's horse number 3, Savvy Kingman for Charene. Looks a very trappy contest, but yeah, hopefully we've got all the bases covered in race 6. We then move on to the last leg of the Triple Trio, which again is a 1.5 mile handicap. It's the Meuse Bay handicap Class 3 event. It's in the 2:45 UK time, Happy Valley. Come back to Steve. What did you think would take all the beating here, Steve?
I thought this looked a very trappy, very tough race to predict, but I decided to go for Tashadelic with Jerry Chow on board. He's won back-to-back races last year, and yeah, a couple of recent disappointing efforts, but he looked better last time over the 1800 metres, where he wasn't beaten far despite racing wide for much of the race from the 10 barrier. Tony Picone was doing the steering then, but Chow takes his precious £5 off, and he's better drawn in gate 5. Dangers include the likes of Gift of Lifeline, but he returns off a career high mark, and Smoothies has his chance, but he has a serious case of seconditis, having been second the last 3 times. So I'm hoping that Tashadelic has a bit more improvement in him and can win the race number 7.
Yeah, well, it's Jerry Chow again, that £5 claim. We all love his £5 claim. So yeah, it's horse number 3 for Steve. How about you, Charene? Did you like Jerry Chow on this one, or you looking elsewhere?
Yes, I like another horse which who is quite consistent recently. That is number 9, Smoothies. He is quite consistent on his recent 3 starts. Just like Steve just said, he kept finishing second behind Sunny Star and Gift of Lifeline and White Honourable respectively. Last start was the closest one. Zach Purton controlled the horse quite well. However, the winner, Sunny Star, was just too good. So this time, Smoothie will be ridden by Zach again, and I want to give him one more chance. During the recent track work gallops, this horse did quite well with a stablemate, President Star, who will race in race 1 on Wednesday night. So punters can also keep an eye on President Star. And then if President Star performs well in race 1, that would definitely increase my confidence on Smoothies in race 7. So these two horses will also be ridden by Zach, and I think both of them are having quite good chances tomorrow.
Yeah, Smoothies, he's hit the crossbar in the last few starts. That's 3 previous seconds. So, yeah, you've got to be the very forgiving sort if you're hoping he's going to go in again. But it's interesting as well that Zach Purton keeps the ride after taking over the reins last time out. So, yeah, it's horse number 9 for Charene, Smoothies. And Steve is quite keen on the chances of horse number 3, Tashi Delek. Okay, that's it for the triple trio races. This is the section of the show where we go through our any other bets and our best fancies. I'll get mine out the way first. It runs in race 3. This is my only tip, so it's going to be my nap. It's horse number 3 as well. It's a Jerry Chow selection, Aries. He's riding for Frankie Law here. This horse is getting down to a workable mark now, and I just thought there wasn't much pace in here at all. And to be honest, I thought he could just run away with it and get an easy lead. Stall 8 is, even though it is a little bit of maybe of a wide gate, I did notice that when he had his last win at Happy Valley, he was actually drawn out even wider in stall 10. So it's not necessarily a negative of him. There's quite a few horses in here with the likes of Telecom Smart, Ice Legends. He was probably the one I was probably scared of the most, but there was a few in here that I thought would just be doing their best work late on and wouldn't be able to get to Aries. So, yeah, another Jerry Chow selection. But, yeah, I thought number 3, Aries, might just be able to get an easy time of things up on the front, and he might be able to stay there come the winning line. Come to Charene here. Who is your best bet on the card, or do you fancy anything else that we haven't touched upon?
Yes, I think that Zach Purton's marks are quite strong tomorrow, so I'm keen on his rise in race 4. That is number 2, Summit Cheers. This horse is quite an early mature one. He's signed by Soul Star, and he won on debut in Hong Kong over the Sha-Tin Straight Horse in February. This will be his first time to race over Happy Valley. However, his recent barrier trial over Happy Valley was quite impressive to me. Seems that this horse quite like this track. So I believe this horse will have a quite good performance tomorrow, jumping from gate 3. And then I believe Zach is a very suitable jockey for this horse. So I like my best bet will be race 4, number 2, Summit Cheers.
Yeah, very lightly raced, only a couple of starts so far, but he could easily be open to more progression. Steve, what's your best bet on tomorrow's Happy Valley card?
Yeah, I thought it was quite a hard meeting to find something that you really, really had a lot of conviction over. I went in the end for race number 3 with Sight Hero. Joe Moreira up for the first time, and that could be the difference. He's nothing from 7, but knocking hard at the door, and he made a good fist of things last time from the 10 gate, making most until he was worn down close home. His mark remains the same. He's drawn well in 3. Everything looks in place for a good run. There's a chance that Handsome Rebel, drawn in 2 under Karis Teton. He's a horse with ability, but he's got a terrible win rate. I do like Handsome Rebel, but he just doesn't win. And that recently with Joe Moreira, of course, as well, I believe. So he might add some pace to the race, and on his outside Sight Hero might be able to track him next door in stall 3. And there's a few unknown quantities, of course. He's packing Victory and Fortune winner, debutants, Master Albert. I think he's a bit, I can't see him bouncing back to win. So I think this could be Sight Hero. He might need to improve slightly, but after 7 runs, that's very possible. And he's never been beaten far in his recent runs. Yeah,
still a maiden, but with Joe Moreira aboard, who knows? And he's still only a 3-year-old as well, so he could maybe still have a little bit more to come. So yeah, a variety of opinions on tomorrow's Happy Valley card, and that's it for this week's show. So thanks for Charene and Steve for that insight. Remember, if you enjoy these videos, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe here to Sharene's YouTube channel, and also as well, remember to follow our UK and Ireland podcast, In the Saddle. We'll leave a link to it in the description box below, and we're also available on social media on Twitter, where our handle is @InTheSaddlePod, and we're also available on Twitter if you want to follow all us 3 amigos. So yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks again to Charene and Steve. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.